right after the first drive, marched their way down the field and took the lead. Now the Jets were behind. So now what does Zach Wilson do? Zach Wilson does what Zach Wilson has always done every time he touches the goddamn ball, which pisses me off. It's time to play hero ball. Okay, it's all of a sudden he gets this light in the back of his head. It's hero time, Charlie Brown. Dude, I tell you something. When he walks into that room today, somebody needs to grab this kid by the shoulder pad and smack him upside the head and say, dude, it's time for you to grow up. This is not BYU no more. This is not the NCAA. This is the NFL, where every time you touch that goddamn ball, you're not just affecting your job. You're affecting the 10 other jobs that are on the field with you. Okay? And the way that they're able to feed their families because of the fact that you can't do your job properly. This is a grown man's game now. You need to act like a grown man. It's time for Zach Wilson to grow up. Plain and simple. Stop acting like a douchebag and understand you are the quarterback of the NFL. You are the quarterback of the New York Jets. Your primary responsibility is to score points, which means your primary responsibility is to get the ball to your weapons so that way we could score points and not turn the ball over. If that means you need to be a game manager, then you be a game manager.
Being a game manager is what has everybody talking about he sucks right now.
Right, but here's the thing, Jax. There are certain situations in which Zach needed to be that game manager.
He should have remained a game manager. And the problem is that, again, same old Jets fans, it's not enough. We were winning games with him being a game manager. What we needed is for him to continue to be a game manager until he can step up and do what it is that the elite quarterbacks do. Currently, he's not there yet, and the coaching staff is not going to allow him to be there because they're going to continue to take the ball out of his hands when it is that we need him to be learning how to maintain having it. Right? They're going to run the ball. Yes. The run game is supposed to be the bread and butter for what it is that we do. And, you know, I began the season by saying we wanted to run the ball. That was the entire point. Breece Hall is hurt. We brought in Robinson. Maybe they didn't want to, you know, kind of let him loose at 100% just quite yet. But going into this Buffalo game, if that is not the course of action, we're going to have a problem.
You have to let him loose now. Because now, instead of Buffalo, where instead you could kind of measure yourself against Buffalo, and I know I'm probably going to be the only person who probably feels this way, Buffalo now becomes a must-win.
We can beat Buffalo. I don't know about must-win. I think it's must compete. It must compete. That's what I think it has to be. We could lose to Buffalo. Like I said, Zach can have 2 touchdowns, 215 yards. We can run for 100 some odd yards, and we can still lose that game and still come out of it with some positivity.
See, I think the New England game coming up with Zach talking all that smack on them, like we'll see him in 2 weeks, that's going to be the must-win for me, and that's going to be the game where Zach better show something. Hey, CJ, welcome back, brother. I love your takes, dog. I'm on Zach Wilson. Welcome back.
If we lose to New England the second time, that's going to be it for Zach, I think, for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
He's going to have to go on a 5 or 6 game win streak where he throws for 300 yards and we win continuously if he loses to New England after. But I mean, CJ, I get the emotion. I just, I'm gonna keep it real. It's very difficult to justify having him play that type of ball when he's not ready. He's just not ready.
And not only that, it also shows the maturity factor too, Jax, because this is one of the things you and I have talked about several times when you and I were riding the cockpit together. We always questioned his maturity. We always questioned whether or not he can be the guy. Can you step up and grab the bull by the balls and show that you're the guy? You can't talk and not back it up.
The problem that I think that we have is, and this is the reality of it, right? We knew he wasn't going to be immediately ready coming in. And I think that our GMs have consistently made that mistake. We're drafting guys that aren't pro ready, right? They need time to develop. Going all the way back to Sanchez. Sanchez wasn't ready. He needed more seasons, but he was able to play well enough with the supporting cast. And then he elevated his game in the playoffs. Then after he got hurt, we brought in Geno. We knew Geno wasn't ready. We knew Geno wasn't ready. Knew it. It was going to take 2 or 3 years for Geno to get it together coming from that air raid offense that he was in. And then Rex got Sanchez hurt, and we threw Geno in, and then everybody got pissed off because Geno wasn't ready when we knew he wasn't. Sam Darnold, the same thing. I'm going to say that we maybe thought Sam was a little more pro-ready than what he was. He ended up being a scrub. And realistically, we're back to Zach, who I think the expectation was he wasn't going to be ready. I don't think Zach was at all considered to be the most pro-ready